Somebody recently told me that my videos are too rambly. I should edit them more. And I will edit them more. I like edited videos, but I'm a rambler, dude. What do you want from me? Anyways, new better default update. Torches. I added torches to Minecraft. Here they are. It's a bit of an illusion. They're in item frames. Okay, I made a new pack. I made a new pack that makes item frames invisible. That's also compatible with bare default, because bare default has some custom item frame textures. Not super interesting, but they have a custom pack and a custom side texture, and they have emissive textures, whatever. So there's a new pack out now if you want to have these torches without item frames. But in reality, it looks like this. When you're waiting for the change, it just takes forever. Like sometimes when you go do something else, it's not that bad, but now it's the worst. Oh, there you go. I knew that would happen, by the way, speaking of the devil. So this is what it actually looks like. Still using my texture pack. These are the only packs I have on right now. My better default, those add all the names, variants, and then, you know, my pack is compatible with fresh animations. So just with the texture pack, you can add all these torches. And how this works, I think the item frames probably reveal it a little bit already, but I added sconces, renamed items that look like, I don't know, torch decorations, that then, when placed in an item frame, perfectly slide over the torch, and that's it. You know, they're just models with clever display settings, and if they're put in item frames, I mean, I don't know how else to say it. It's pretty simple. You get the gist of it. You get how this works. It's obviously a lot prettier without the item frames, but this is also very Minecrafty. People have been doing this shit for ages, you know, item frame, and then you put a slab in there, right? It's like a little torch holder, right? It's like an energy, right? It's like look at this. People have been doing this for a long time. It's super Minecrafty. This was actually a big part of the design philosophy of this feature. Bare default is a default improved pack, so it can never really stray too far from default. Even adding stuff like full-on furniture replacement doesn't really feel right, even though that's also possible technically with item frames, right? Like I could technically add vertical slabs, you know, rename a slab to vertical slab, put it in an item frame, and there you go. But then you can walk through it, right? So bare default is not really that type of pack. But the reason why I'm fully behind these torches in a default pack is because players already put item frames behind torches. For example, if you're using bare default and you're on an SMP with people who aren't using bare default, it could really break your immersion to walk into a base and then you suddenly see it hanging full of random items, you know, because I added fucking random furniture everywhere. If you walk into a base of someone who's using bare default, you see a torch with an item frame behind it, with an item in it, no biggie, you know, no big deal at all. So my pack doesn't normally do furniture. My pack has a lot of named variants. I'll give you an example of some of the stuff you can rename to get these sconces, which is what the new item is called. The document has all the renames. It has a category for furniture as well, so you can find a list of all the available, well, in this case it's only sconces, but I might, you know, I definitely want to do levers as well. So you have lever covers, you know, so you can put I don't know, a lever cover in an item frame with a lever right under it. Same principle. Anyways, you just saw how it worked. You just rename something and then it becomes a sconce, you know, really easy. All the torches change depending on different items. I tried to make it balanced. Some of them are still crazy rare, like this is still a diamond, you know, there's no diamond shard. Like for iron, you use an iron nugget. For gold, you use a golden nugget. For copper ingot, pretty fair. Copper is pretty common and useless. There's a little Easter egg for the builders. The copper sconce is made with the copper ingot, and the copper ingot doesn't have oxidation stages, so I can't really make this oxidate unless I make it eternally animate, but I don't really like that for copper oxidation. Doesn't really make sense. So what I did instead is I just added named variants, which is a bit silly. If you know, you know. I don't even know how to incorporate this into the document I made. Take copper ingot and you just name it sconce. It's gonna change to this. That's the sconce item. And then we can also do oxidized sconce, right? It gives you the green one, or weathered sconce, right? And I don't really know if this makes sense, if this is good, but at least it really heavily plays into the name part of copper. And I feel like the long names of copper is at least it's iconic, right? Like the long-winded, waxed, oxidized copper stairs, with all that shit, you know. At least that's like, you know, a classic Minecraft, right? So renaming it, that's the only difference in name. Other than that, they're all just sconce, but except for these little Easter egg, little builder delights sconces, right? Of exposed with weathered and oxidized copper. Moving on to amethyst shard, easy. Emerald, full emerald, but not really a problem because of how, you know, replenishable they are. Diamond, that's just a full diamond hanging there on your wall, so that's like a big dicked torch. I don't really see anyone doing this, but that's okay. Quartz, fine. Redstone, fine. Lapis, fine. So if you're not getting the system, it's just a renamed, in this case, lapis, right? The name stays the same, so it's a sconce every time, and then it's and then you just take different materials. So in this case, lapis. We're just gonna name it sconce. Look, easy as cake. Look, and then we have a sconce. Look at this. Fuck yeah, we got a sconce right there. And then we can put it in an item frame. Well, it's already in an item frame. Look at this. Boom. It's boring torch, sconce over it, did it. Bone meal sconces to make skull torches, just because. For fun, right? Very decorative. Charcoal sconces, rename charcoal to sconce, and it'll look like a wither skeleton, because wither skeletons, that's kind of their bone meal, okay, right? Like a little bit, maybe? I don't know, whatever. This is a dragon's breath bottle, so that instantly makes this a lot more useful. I mean, who the fuck, you know, you want to gather this because it's rare, and then you have it in a chest doing nothing. Now, it's also like an end game sconce, but at least now you can have dragon sconces. Look at this, very simple. We have a sconce, put it in an item frame. I mean, you get the system. I don't need to keep showing this off. The dragon sconce, made from dragon's breath, so also a bit more of an expensive sconce, but not because dragon's breath is useful, but just because it's a bit hard to get. But this, probably the most expensive sconce, netherite scrap. You know, I thought I'd give you guys that. Instead of doing ingots, it's scrap. So netherite scrap, renamed the sconce, would look like this. The torch part of the torch. Normally in most sconces, it leaves the torch alone. You know, I thought that was kind of cool. You know, I thought, oh, there's a reason why I kept the torch always kind of default in my pack, right? I never like did a big torch, and now that makes sense, right? So you can play with the design of a default torch and just add details. But in this case, it does cover the entire torch, and this is because the default palette of netherite tools actually has red handles instead of wood. So I thought that was a clever way to link that in, especially because my tools, I don't have that red palette anymore. So this is like a red netherite wood palette that's in the default textures, but not ever in my pack. And now it's back in a subtle way, and I think they look kind of cool. You know, I think if you know this is netherite, I'd be impressed. You know, why did I add this? Who the fuck is doing this? I don't know. Who the fuck is hanging netherite scrap on their wall? I have no idea. But even if one guy does it, for me that's like a job well done, right? It's like a very big cocked torch, if I can say it so bluntly. Rename dyes. Take any dye, rename it to sconce, and it'll be a very simple torch rename. Colorful torches. I actually enable my invisible item frames resource pack, so you can have a better look at all the torches. And you can also play like this. I decided to keep the item frames visible in my big better default pack, like my full pack, because item frames on their own still have application. This invisible item frame pack is made specifically to be compatible with better default, and the item frames still show up, right? They're still visible in hand, and the item frame is actually, the model is removed, so technically this would actually remove lag, but it also means that you can't, you know, it's gone now, so it's not, you know, it's beautiful, but it's up to you if you want to use it. That's why I made a separate add-on. But for showcase's sake, we'll keep it on so you can have a better look at all these torches, especially now that it's nighttime. I think that's when they're at their best, obviously. So yeah, rename any dye to a colorful torch stick. And then you can also rename concrete for a thicker model, basically also in all the colors. They're the same palette, so you can just choose a design. It's either a thin model or a thick model. Very expensive, in my opinion. Concrete, I thought it was better than powder, because what if you turn it into concrete accidentally and then find out you can't use it? A bit expensive, maybe more of a creative-only torch. In my pack, I don't really know. It is obtainable though, obviously, right? Rename a concrete block to sconce. Here, check it out. Easy, sconce. Boom. And then you get a sconce. So that's the price of a concrete, of a fancy sconce like this. Same for these. These are terracotta blocks. They have a very subtle texture, obviously, because terracotta has barely any texture. In my pack, they have custom sides, but very low contrast. And it shows up on the sconce as well. I tried to give them a custom texture still, so kind of like the pattern of the terracotta should still be there. That's the actual block. It doesn't add a texture, right? Because why would I add a texture? I tried to have some clever UV mapping, have the pattern, you know, continue on the edges, and other than that, it's just a big concrete looking torch. I don't know what you want from me. This is just terracotta. This is the nature of terracotta, but at least you get all these pastel looking torches now, right? And if you do want more contrast in your torch, you can always pick concrete or any of the other ones, like these blocks, all the stone types. Some of them are a little bit silly. Some of them really stand out, like this one is obviously really epic. I really love that, obsidian. These ones are a bit samey, but check these out, like basalt and deep slate. Their palettes are like almost identical. Basalt's a bit more blue, and it shows up in the torches too. Like there's barely any practical difference in their palettes, right? And I could solve it at a later date by slightly changing the texture, but for now, it doesn't really matter which one you use. And even practically, the palettes are always going to be similar, right? So that's just kind of, I don't know. It's a side effect of doing all the stone types. I didn't want to leave any stone types out, but it also leaves us with sconces like this, like the calcite one that is incredibly similar to this one. Look at that. What's the difference even? You know what I'm saying? So, I could just leave it there, but I won't because I'm autistic as fuck. Anyways, all the stone types, diorite, andesite, you name it, they have sconces, you know. So do with that as you will. use them in builds. I hope you appreciate these. Same for the wood types. They have sconces as well. Maybe a bit boring. They're just recolored sticks, and I added like a little, how I explained before, right? How people used to add slabs inside the item frame. I added like a little handle to represent that energy, like a little bar or whatever it is. That should be in a palette that should be recognizable for the wood type. Like dark oak, the doors of dark oak wood have golden handles, right? So so why not? Why not try to add some variety there? Smaller models, very subtle, different wood types, torches. I think this one's very cute. Maybe they're not so special. I would definitely focus on the bigger ones like these. They're more special to me. But at least there's variety for everyone, there's a fuck ton of them now. Keep in mind that bamboo is not renamed with bamboo planks or this block. You need to ignore these blocks for the most part. They're mostly for decoration, right? Because this is actually a renamed but popped chorus fruit, right? And then this is actually renamed bamboo, right? Not bamboo planks or anything like that. These are just renamed planks. All right, all the other wood types are, except for bamboo, right? That's what I'm saying. Again, you can check out the document that I made. It has all the furniture on it. It's really simple. Rename crafting ingredients in an anvil to sconce. More furniture to come, like levers, That's like all of this is like a big task, because when you would do one, I kind of want to do it all, right? You commit to wood types, okay, that's one thing. That's like 8 wood types, whatever. You commit to stone types, well, this is where it ends us. And apparently I did dice too. Because, I don't know, variety, spice of life. So that's it for this video today. I mean, these are the sconces. This is it without the invisible item frames add-on. I'll link everything below. There's also a separate version of Barely Default that just has the named variant. Barely Default is a huge pack. It stays close to default, but it always overhauls a lot of stuff. Like, check out some of my new husks. I mean, well, the first one was a whammy. There's like 40 husks now, right? So getting the first one to be that special, that is, like I said, kind of special. But yeah, like I said, my pack overhauls a lot of stuff, and you might not want that. So I also have a separate CIT pack that just has the named variants. The torches will be in there. It didn't make much sense to me to make a separate torch add-on because the nameable variants are optional by definition. So I just included the torches in there. So get the furniture add-on, I guess, which already existed. It's just been updated. Get Barely Default, get the invisible item frames add-on, and decorate your base with some cool torches. I have a Discord, I have a Twitter, I have Instagram, I'm everywhere. Maybe I don't want to be everywhere though. My Discord's a good place to hang. I have a Reddit as well for my community, like r/MJTrips. That's a subreddit for my YouTube. So you can join that as well. Get silly, post some memes, or post some builds with torches. I love seeing it, right? People using my pack. It's like great. I've been Mickey Joe, and yeah.